On today's show, life as a leader.
I think it'll be the best thing for our team, considering we've got a younger group.
Competition for selection. And meet this year's AFLW Club Champion. Hi everyone and welcome to the Optus Crows Show. I'm Alana Smith. Well, footy is back and round two has given fans another look at the Crows lineup under senior coach Matthew Nicks. One player to keep a keen eye on is returning defender Tom Doedee. The 23-year-old demonstrated incredible resilience and determination in his recovery from a ruptured ACL last year. And it's those traits that ultimately earned him a spot in the club's leadership group. We caught up with Doedee to see how he's embracing his new role.
And we've got two new guys that are going to come into our leadership group. First one's Brady Smith. And our fourth member is Tommy Doedee.
I think someone like Smithers, who had built that respect over his time at the club, it was almost, he was around that leadership group but just didn't have the label, and now that he's got the label, it's something extra. It's not really, hasn't changed how he is. And Matty Crouch is obviously a young leader. He was in the leadership group last year, but he just leads by example, and he's got a great relationship with all the boys. And so I've had them two to learn off, and then you've obviously got Lynchy and Sloaney, who are experienced and been there a long time. So for me, it's been an easy shift just because I've got those guys above me who I can look to, and then for Smithers, I feel like he was already in that realm, so it's been pretty comfortable for him as well. The first 2 or 3 weeks we were together, we had our usual meetings in the rooms, and you forget how much you read on body language cues, and when someone goes to talk, how they lean forward a bit. It changed from in-person to Zoom chats, but you still got the same sort of effect out of, we're trying to build a culture, we're trying to lead these young blokes, we're trying to develop relationships. But it also gave us time, because we weren't at the club as much, we had more time to make phone calls and talk about Ace Taylor, a rookie who's just come over here. I was calling him a couple of times a week just to chat to him and learn a bit more about his family and where he's come from, and it was the same as with other blokes. And so instead of talking about footy, because we're not playing footy, you're more talking about their family life and starting to get to know them a bit better.
The Crows are bracing to spend at least 5 weeks in their new Gold Coast hub.
I think it'll be the best thing for our team, considering we've got a younger group, we've had all this time off to come together and just actually develop relationships, chat, figure out a bit more about each other, and then that'll transition into playing games. So that's probably the bit I'm most excited about. Obviously, I'd had a long 12-month recovery, I'd had a few setbacks, and then to have that big setback so close to round one was pretty gut-wrenching, and everyone's biggest support is their family. As much as I've got a lot of people around the club that I confide in to go back home and actually get to spend 6 weeks playing board games and cards, even just sitting around watching a movie with your family. It's something that when you live interstate you don't really get to do. Off-season you travel, Christmas break you're seeing people and stuff. So yeah, it was a valuable time, and forever grateful for it, just because it was basically our family and that's it. You just spend your time with your family, do your training, come back and spend time, and didn't have to go and catch up with all my mates.
And we certainly wish the players all the best as they prepare to fly to Queensland this week, and we'll hear more from the boys a little later in the show. Well, in 2016, the Crows played in their first finals match here at Adelaide Oval. It was a must-win clash against North Melbourne under the direction of first-year senior coach Don Pike. The game produced plenty of highlights, including a 6-goal haul from Eddie Betts. Today, we're taking a look back at the famous 62-point victory thanks to the club's major partner, Toyota.
I think you saw it when we played Geelong in the prelim as well. Went here when we hosted, we kicked the first 3 in the first 3 minutes, and the game was pretty much over. So starting well in a home final just brings that energy and brings the crowd into it. And I remember that night against North, we started really well, but they hung in there till about half time. It was a really tough game that first half, and we might have been up by, it was a really low scoring first half from memory. We were up by about 14 points at half time, and then in that third quarter we were able to just turn it on, and Eddie and Lynchy kicked a lot of goals. I think it was 10 between them, and they sort of lit up the crowd in that second half.
Eddie gets it moving, no man better place to kick this than Eddie. He's got his third goal, goal number 70 for the year.
Got further afield to lead. Here they come, the big boys. Jenkins down the back, Eddie Betts straight through the ideal middle.
I remember the game against West Coast. I think I had 5 personally kicked on me. Kennedy towed me up.
The percentage is ebbing away, isn't it?
Yep. And surely they're just racking it up. Well, this is embarrassing now, to be honest.
We played at home in round 23, West Coast, and everyone just thought we were going to, win that game and probably finish second at the time, I think it was, and it didn't happen like that. So I remember after that week we had a pretty brutal review, and finishing 5th, it really was deflating. But the way we bounced back, and we had North at home in an elimination final to come out and win by, I think it was about 62 points in the end, to come out and play like that and rebound and play Sydney the next week was really amazing for a young group. And as I said, we just built and built all year, and that really culminated in that final where we knocked off North at home.
Siren sounds, Adelaide advance. They play Sydney at the SCG.
The whole team was really even. The forward line were humming and they got the credit, but the midfield and back line were really even as well, and I think really contributed and played their roles.
Great respect from the Adelaide Footy Club and their supporters.
It was amazing. They had a number of guys who retired at the time. Drew Petrie, I think I played on him as well throughout the game, and he retired for North post that game. Nick D'Alessano as well. So 3 absolute legends of the AFL that played over 300 games, and Brent Harvey in particular, played over 400. And playing against him in the past, he was always a guy that tore it up against us and kicked numerous bags, and was so hard to stop. So to be there for his final game and to be there for those 3 legends' final game was pretty special.
Plenty more to come on the show, and after the break we catch up with an up-and-coming Crow.
Being around the boys again is just, energy is amazing at the moment.
Crows forward Ben Davis had 1 goal this year, and that was to play in the club's opening match at Adelaide Oval. Plenty of hard work over the pre-season saw that dream come true, and the 23-year-old was selected to play in just his 2nd AFL match against the Swans. With the season back in full swing, Davis believes his career is just getting started, and he can't wait for the opportunity to play in front of a sold-out home crowd.
The energy around the club at the moment is unreal. It's amazing. I think when you're away from something for so long and then you finally come back to it, energy goes through the roof naturally. And especially with places like a footy club, there's so much camaraderie with the boys, and you miss that banter with each other. So being able to come back now and just muck around with everyone and be around the boys again is just, energy is amazing at the moment. Yeah, I'm enjoying myself on the track. I love a few handstands and whatnot. I love just mucking around, and especially at the moment, there's such a good vibe around the club. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying myself being able to be back out on the track and yelling out nonsense and getting all the boys to tell me to shut up, so it's nice. When it comes time to be serious, I love to get in under, and if I need to call someone out or something, or I need to pull my head in because I'm not training too well, obviously I'll be serious, but yeah, you got to pick your moments.
This is what AFL footy is about, man. You're playing your first game, Friday night footy against Geelong. Enjoy it, have fun, but most importantly, mate, let's get the win for you. All right?
I guess Geelong is obviously the first game I played, and I had all my family and friends and stuff, and that was the moment where I did what I set out to do for so many years, but then playing against the Swans boys, because I obviously grew up in Sydney, was in the Swans Academy, and I actually played in the NEFL with a fair few of those boys that we played against in round 1.
It's a big moment for him and for the Crows, and he is right up to it. Well played, Ben Davis.
Funniest thing about it was I set myself the goal of playing round 1 for the whole of pre-season. I was the thing I'm most keen to do is play in front of a crowd at Adelaide Oval. 50,000 people screaming, yelling for us. It'll be amazing, it'll be unreal. So I was okay. So I set myself out, trained hard, did all that stuff. And then I got picked for round 1, but the crowd was gone, so I ran out to crickets.
As the Crows prepare to continue their 2020 season in the Sunshine State, make sure you stay up to date with the Crows' latest news at afc.com.au. You can stay connected with the club via the Crows' social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And for footy stories you might have missed, follow at The Crows Show on Twitter. The coronavirus pandemic forced a premature end to the AFLW season this year, and whilst the Crows were no longer in premiership contention, there was one player that had been a standout in each of Adelaide's home and away matches. Ian Hatchard was crowned the Crows' AFLW club champion this week, thanks to a dominant performance in the midfield that included an average of 25 disposals per game. Let's hear from the 22-year-old to see how she's feeling after taking home the club's highest accolade.
Gives me great pleasure to announce the winner for the 2020 Club Champion Award to Anne Hatchard.
Winning the club champions, I never thought it was ever going to happen. It's been a huge journey for me since season one. Getting dropped in a few games in season one, season two, and then coming out in season three, having a bit of a breakout year, and then now winning club champion season four. It's just, it's unreal, and it's still, I'm just pinching myself. It's incredible.
If you told me 4 years ago that I'd be in this position now, I probably would have laughed at you while eating some KFC or something.
Getting dropped those first few seasons, I just thought I was going to be one of those players on the cusp of getting dropped each week, and then after season two, it kind of really hit me that I really need to get better not just for myself but for my teammates.
With this disposal, Anne Hatchard will have the AFLW record for most touches in the game.
Winning the award over Zoom, it was very weird. It still doesn't really feel real to me. Hopefully we can all catch up together and celebrate how it should have been done.
Coming up, we catch up with another Crow vying for game day selection.
Well, last year, Lockie Murphy taught his teammates a good lesson when he made the costly mistake of forgetting to wear his mouthguard during a match. An on-field clash with Taylor Walker just minutes into the game caused the small forward to make an unexpected trip to the dentist. We've reached into the Optus Crows Show vault to revisit the unfortunate incident, thanks to Bendigo Bank.
Injury concerns for Adelaide right now. Lockie Murphy's been down with the doctor for most of the quarter. He's come back on with the tracksuit top on.
All I could think about was Mum absolutely ripping shreds through me. Mum's instilled into the kids that you are not playing without a mouthguard, and that's been since I was 6 years old. Never not trained or played, whether it be basketball or football, without one.
Bruce, I think his front three teeth have all been knocked back.
I think I was in so much disbelief and shock that it actually happened the one time that I don't wear a mouthguard. Put my tongue on the roof of my mouth, I could feel three teeth up there, and I thought, yeah, Mum's going to kill me. A couple of years ago, I had 2 jaw reconstructions. I've had braces for 4 years. There's all plates here and nails and stuff all through my chin here, and that doesn't come for free. So Mum and Dad worked pretty hard, to be able to pay for that. The reaction 2 hours later when I spoke to her on the phone wasn't all that flash for me. How dare you? How could you run out there without a mouthguard? You know how much time and effort we've gone through those teeth. I just can't believe it. You know I love you. I love you to death, but I just can't believe you've done it. And I was just. Yeah, I'm sitting there, Mum, I know, like, I'm not an idiot. Running out there knowing I didn't have it, I had some anxiety attack. I started shaking, started getting the sweats. I started saying, no, I'm not playing today, I can't do it. I was getting Eddie Betts and all these blokes coming at me that never wore a mouthguard and going, nah mate, you'll be fine, I've never wore one, it's all good, you're gonna be fine. 5 minutes in, crack. I've got 3 mouthguards now. Yep, I will not be forgetting them ever again, I can tell you that right now.
Well, it was another full week of training at West Lakes as the Crows prepared to play their first match in almost 3 months. Thanks to Flight Centre, let's fly around social media to see what the players have been sharing with their followers.
Hey guys, we're down here at West Lakes. I'm with my favourite footballer, the Big Texan.
Thanks, Sloaney. He tries to get the crowd going, but guess what, Tex? There isn't any. Yeah. And the slide was, well, it was about 5 metres long, and there's the late arrival of the freezing cold water. Have a look at this in slow-mo. Nice slide. Head straight. Perfect posture.
With the return of football, there's strong competition amongst young players to earn a spot in the Crows starting side. And that includes 2018 draftee Ned McHenry, who says he's focused on playing consistent footy under the guidance of his mentors.
This pre-season, I just wanted continuity. I just wanted to do as many sessions in a row as possible. I pretty much wanted to try and complete 100% of pre-season and just train, as I say, train and compete every session. So that's been the focus, and then with that, footy stuff obviously improves organically. We have so many players that are so ready to help and good at helping as well, but Tom Lynch probably has been a massive one, and as well my two good friends Riley O'Brien and Jake Kelly. They're probably some of the most professional guys at the club and probably in the league as well, so to have them around me all the time is pretty cool. I don't live with them anymore, but I did live with them, and that was awesome initially to come in and obviously live with them, because they set the standard with just their standards in preparing for training and making sure their bodies are right and eating well and stuff like that. So they were the standard. So to be friends with them and to be around that all the time is obviously quite infectious. He's good, Nixie. He's really, really good. I've loved it. Yeah, absolutely loved it. I think all the boys have loved it as well. He's been great. Yeah, he's hard, and yeah, he has that line of, you know, kind of being your mate in some ways, but also being really tough and quite ruthless with the stands he's setting at training. So yeah, he's again a great fella, and yeah, just want to please him and make him proud, I guess.
Coming up, Nixie answers questions from the fans.
It was fantastic to finally see the Crows back on the field last night in Showdown 48. Thanks to Optus, we scrolled through social media to see how Crows supporters have embraced the return of football.
When the state government announced spectators would be allowed to attend last night's match, the question on everyone's mind was how they could get their hands on one of the limited tickets. And fans took to Facebook this week to share their birthday wishes for former captain and club legend Mark Rasciuto.
This season on the Optus Crows Show, coach Matthew Nix has been answering questions from fans thanks to Thomas Farms. This week's question is from Dylan, who wants to know what are the most exciting and challenging perks of being a senior coach.
It's a hard question to answer. There's been so many challenges. But I've really enjoyed that. I've actually really enjoyed that it's constantly changing. There hasn't been a lot of footy coaching. I've really enjoyed the challenges that have been thrown up to all of us as far as, you know, where we're heading, where the game's going to go, how we're going to get better. Probably the biggest one's been working over online platforms, but like everyone in the community, we seem to be nailing that at this point.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the footy this week. Make sure you stay up to date with all the Crows' latest news on afc.com.au and follow the club on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. We'll see you next Sunday on 7 at 2:30 p.m. Have a great week. Bye for now.